Hello and welcome to an all-new Marvel cast, Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers and Defenders to Bruto the Strongman and Rex the Dog-Faced Boy. My name is Ashley Hobley, your podcast host without fear, and joining me today is astonishing Dylan Blight.
We haven't recorded this podcast in a little bit, so I forget the ridiculous names of characters who I should really be checking that you're not just making up, but
They're definitely real. There were characters who appeared in at least one Marvel comic.
at least one. I'm glad there's a barrier to entry.
Well, I think that is the bare minimum. You have to appear in at least one comic.
One.
Today, we're starting our after show series on Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Obviously, it's been 12 months?
At least, right?
Let me double check.
12 months, maybe a little bit over. I feel like it started earlier last year, or I could just be dreaming that.
Which it's already apparently been confirmed that it's getting a Season 3. No, first episode came out 4th March last year, so just over a year later.
Yeah. Well, they started filming pretty
soon after.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What was your anticipation levels like for the show coming back?
Medium. We enjoyed the first season, had no major gripes with it. I thought it was fine. There is that, obviously, compare it to the Netflix series, and we talked about that, I believe. I still think the first couple seasons, especially that first season of the Netflix series, is considerably stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But, there was a lot, the storyline's interesting, the direction they hung them up in, and then some of the casting news for season 2 and returning characters I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Jessica Jones and elements like that I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, medium, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think I enjoyed the season more, maybe because I was also so fresh from watching the Daredevil Netflix series. I binge watched it right before, so I could talk about it. So we can all Daredeviled up going into this.
Yeah, you were very Daredeviled up going into the...
Yeah. Well, we did a whole rewatch, discussion about Daredevil.
Yeah, I didn't rewatch it all, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You just watched it.
Yeah.
I was watching as it was coming out.
But you did watch the Ben Affleck movie. You can go listen to that. I'm back on the all-new Marvel cast feed.
That is true. Go listen to that nonsense.
But yeah, I was keen. I enjoyed it, so yeah, very excited. And, it looks like all the buzz pre this day premiere was pretty high, so we started to dive into it. So let's talk about the first episode, The Northern Star, directed by Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson, written by Dario Scardapane. Dylan, what do you think of the episode?
Strong start, a little bit. There's some elements that I skipped the previously on thing because I was like, I don't think I need to watch this, which I think I was mostly fine for. But then when it starts and him and Karen are together, I was like, did I skip a beat?
I don't think that was a skip thing. I think at the end of last season, they obviously were reunited. I don't know.
They were reunited, but
I don't know if they'll hook it up.
Yeah, this season starts and it's like, I understand there's a slight time jump between the finale and this, but not a significant time jump. So that was the only thing that I was really okay, sure, there. But I mean, yeah, otherwise, the first episode, little bit of setup, little bit of this is happening in this direction, and so on and so on. But I enjoyed all the characters. Let me put it this way. I enjoyed all the character stuff. I enjoyed the direction we're heading narratively. They've put more action into it. I don't know if that's because people were complaining so much about the first season not being as action heavy, because a lot of it was obviously Matt not wanting to be Daredevil, and that caused less action. But I will say, I didn't love the way that the action shot. It is very let's just a lot of cuts and a lot of zooming in and out and typical that sort of thing. Other than that, yeah, it was good premiere.
Yeah, I think it was a solid opening episode. It's definitely, there is a time jump. Obviously, there's probably facts that we haven't quite figured out and that kind of stuff, and don't know exactly what happened in between those end of last season and what's the start of this season yet. But yeah, it just kind of threw you in and let you swim in the deep end, I guess. I didn't mind the action because it's really only those two fight scenes, infiltrating this boat and then trying to save Cherry.
I think that the fight scene at the end was better than that one was better, but the one that opened with just felt very, you know.
Well, it makes sense to open the show with an action sequence to immediately appease all the people who were upset that it was a little bit too much talking in the first.
Which is funny because the first season opened with a massive action sequence as well.
Yes.
And then the complaint was...
This doesn't compare to.
No, that action scene was a lot better, obviously. But then the complaint was after that, where he's like, I'm no longer going to be Daredevil. We slowed right down.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it was interesting getting a glimpse at where all the characters are kind of going and then kind of getting a hint at things going forward, I guess. So obviously we knew that the Vigilante Task Force was going to be a big thing. I don't know that we suspected it to feel so much like reality as it does at the end of last season.
So the thing is they very much set up Fisk as like a pseudo Trump in the first season to a degree.
But harsh.
Well, no, the problem with that is Fisk is a million times smarter than Trump, but it does feel like they're trying to project a little bit of that like imperialistic leader Trump dictator vibes onto him, which is again it's just weird because he's not that dumb. But the task force obviously feeling like ice is, I don't think they could have predicted that. Just given when they were filming it and all that sort of stuff. Ice started. I mean, they were shooting this before Ice. Well, Ice, I think, existed.
Yeah, they always
would have existed,
you know.
But before they were given pretty much carte blanche.
Before they were given, no barriers.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Throw people in a deep dark hole. That kind of stuff. And kill people if you want. But yeah, I thought that was one thing that was very interesting about this episode. That maybe in 10 years' time, it won't play the same way. You know what I mean? Hopefully. So, but yeah, let's run through the episode with number one film and TV resource, Wikipedia. Matt Murdock, as a vigilante daredevil, infiltrates the Northern Star, a cargo ship connected to Mayor Wilson Fisk, which carries military-grade weapons as part of his Freeport operation. Daredevil's presence forces the crew to sink the shield, halting access to the port, and Murdock attaches a tracking drone to one of the weapons, created to track it later. Didn't pick that up.
No, I didn't. I did not pick that up at all. Are we sure that's the thing?
I just like, why is he putting this back in this gun back in the crate? That's weird.
Yeah. I have a question straight away about this whole boat thing. So the whole we sink the ship plan if the devil gets on board. I don't really understand. Like if he takes this, like if he destroys the stuff, or is it so if he sinks it, it's so they can come get it later?
Yeah.
But if he destroys it or takes it, they can't get it. But then I'm still just like, but if he sinks it, it allows potential public to get in there. I don't know. It just seems like it
becomes a bigger spectacle. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think unless they already plan to like blame it as a terrorist attack on Daredevil, like they kind of do. They pin, rather than Fisk getting in trouble, they pin it on Daredevil as a terrorist act. Unless they had that as the story to go.
Guess so.
At the start, but I don't know. Yeah, what do they think Daredevil was going to do with the cargo ship? I guess would have been the bigger question.
Yeah, that's what.
Is he going to drive it to some, media outpost?
Is he going to take it somewhere? Like, what's he going to do? If he would have just destroyed it, and we all would have moved on with our lives. I don't know. Like, it's just that was I think that was the one plot thread that's set up in this opening episode that I'm just a little bit confused
about. Okay. But yeah, I mean, Matt and Karen are very happy about it, thinking they've got the upper hand, only to be thwarted by Kingpin's spin. And we quickly establish they are back together after their brief coming together.
Season long separation until they meet up literally in the second half of the finale or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, it was like but they were together in season 2 of the Daredevil Netflix series for a brief moment.
They've been together like briefly, but like it just the jump between him having the other girlfriend, the lawyer one, which I'm sure we'll get to in a minute, but all last season, and Karen just not existing pretty much in the entirety of last season, which was another complaint obviously I had about that season was it's like it's Daredevil Born Again, and by Born Again we mean we're going to kill off one of the main characters, remove the other one, introduce a bunch
Send
of
the
new
other one to
ones.
friend San Fran,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, immediately, how do you feel about Deborah and Woll being like one of the
main cast?
She's Bill's second name in the credits, so
yeah, much better. Very exciting.
Great. All right. As news spreads, a CIA operative with the pseudonym Mr. Charles, who works for the CIA director Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, speaks to Fisk about the sinking as the smuggled weapons were for the CIA.
Yeah, so we do a little bit of I'll say I'm very much enjoying Matthew Lillard playing this role. He's having fun, and you can tell. I have no idea or really care at this stage if it's going to be revealed to be someone of more significance, because whatever his name is absolute nonsense code name. It's not a real person.
Mr. Charles, yeah. There's on the Wikipedia page, there's no mention of who he could possibly be, but I'm sure someone has been speculating.
Yeah. I assume he's someone of more significance, but for now, I'm just enjoying Matthew Lillard just having a lot of fun with that role, and that's really good for him. And then obviously we get a little bit of tie into whatever her name is again, De Fontaine. Some Thunderbolts time,
Valentina,
whatever. Yeah. Valentina. So yeah, a little bit more cross pollination.
Yeah, we Google AI is not pulling up many answers on who people are thinking he is.
He'll be
I thought that was really
Trask.
fun.
Who's it? Trask?
That would be a wild swing.
We haven't introduced him yet, have we?
I guess not, because the X-Men aren't in this universe. So
yeah, well, they're about to be, so they could introduce him now. Makes perfect time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Apparently, there's a theory that it's related to Charles Xavier because his name's Charles. That seems unlikely.
That's wild. You're saying what I'm saying is wild. That's a wild swing.
No. The showrunner has confirmed it's not a disguised version of Charles Xavier. So that's a good sign. That would be a wild choice.
He didn't say it's not Trask.
Other theories are it's a reimagined version of Mr. Fear, who I've never heard of, or the Chameleon. That would be an interesting one. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I thought that scene where he comes into the meeting, one with the governor's attorney general and that kind of stuff, like coming to Fisk and being like, hey, you can't do this shit. You're only the mayor. And like getting the power play of the CIA director, I guess, telling them to fall in line. Kind of goes to show the power of Valentina, I guess, which is interesting post the last time we saw her in Thunderbolts, where she was on the cusp of losing a job.
She's in charge of the new Avengers now.
Yeah, well, does that give you the power to veto the governor?
I don't know, but
New York
gives you some power.
It does. But yeah, that scene was good. And then you get the later scene where he talks to Fisk and like he explains the better way to go and collect the guns, because he doesn't want any witnesses to the guns getting removed from the ship, because he'll just wipe out a bunch of, I assume, illegal immigrants who pick up. Nobody will care if they are missing, that kind of stuff. So really interesting played, and it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of character play against Wilson Fisk this season, assuming it's going to be a prolonged thing just because of their working relationship, I guess, because they definitely have different energies. And the Fists are not a fan, I would say, from that one dinner scene.
Well, the other thing, so that scene, the dinner table scene, it's interesting just to see Fisk not wanting his men to die as well.
Well, he is loyal, I guess, to an extent.
Like he
also, he knows it's hard to find loyal men.
Yeah, but it's like he's now entering a pact with
the big wigs.
Yeah, who
going up
don't play that way,
All right. Meanwhile, Fist anti-vigilante task force continue to arrest superheroes and masked vigilantes around the city. Heather Glenn interrogates Jack Dusquance.
Fucking swordsman. Forget his real name.
Swordsman. But her judgment is impaired by her trauma from her capture by serial killer the Muse.
I'll be honest, I forgot what that dude looked like. And for the first second he popped up, I was like, oh my God, it's Ryan Reynolds' first version of Deadpool. Like the first second he walked past on the screen, I was like, what the fuck? It's shitty Deadpool.
Wow. I don't know.
I forgot what he looked like. Like he just has like the mask and the face, and it looks like the shitty Deadpool.
Oh, I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Shitty Deadpool from the Wolverine. Wolverine.
Oh, from Wolverine Origins.
Wolverine Origins, yeah, that's it.
I don't even know if he looked like that at all. But anyway, I thought this was interesting. Again, Tony Dalton is one of the names credited on the opening credits. I don't know if that means
are they just doing this thing though without any credits? It's just they're going to change it per episode.
Yeah, important people in the episode. I don't know.
Yeah, because obviously I really enjoy that actor, but will be shocked if he's in every single episode.
But I know he'll probably be in the next couple. Because yes, he is. It seems he'll be the one that we focus on, the first of these vigilante trials that are about to take place. And we established that Matt's business partner, Kirsten McDuffie, who he has abandoned, has taken up every vigilante abduction case, it seems like, in the city. And Matt, of course,
on the run?
On the run, dead? But also thinks nobody can help him with his problems, is keeping Kirsten in the dark about his disappearance. But yeah, I thought this whole thing with Heather, I thought was interesting. Like, she's traumatized by her experience with the Muse. So she is going to change information to make it easier for the task force or the prosecutor to.
Yeah,
prosecute them.
When we're talking about a world where, if we're comparing the task force to ICE, and then if you want to compare her to any other judicial
people, yeah, who just goes along with.
It's like she had one masked person who wasn't even a superhero, was a villain.
No, was someone literally wanting to kill people.
Yeah.
It was a serial killer, not a vigilante.
Yeah. So she had one bad experience, and now she's painting all of these people with the same brush. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. I would never say that's what happens in America with similar topics.
But yeah, I thought that was she goes real dark and kind of implies that she could get the swordsman tortured if she wanted to. You know,
yeah, you'll spend your whole life in here. You'll fucking. But then, makes him do the whole personality test, whatever the hell, psychological evaluation, and then. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. She could just fake it the whole time from home.
Yeah, that seems like something you should do in pen.
Yeah.
There should be pencil,
But all I was saying is when she rubbed out the other pencil, she hadn't pressed as hard because she was less in a stress. And then the new cross is very firm. It's not going to match the rest.
And she hasn't quite erased the other one?
No. So if I was marking her work...
I don't think anybody's going to look at it that closely, unfortunately. All right. An AVTF unit targets Murdoch's ally, Cherry, forcing Murdoch to intervene. Cherry experiences a heart attack, distracting Murdoch from the AVTF to subdue and unmask Murdoch, but he is narrowly rescued after Bullseye kills the agents.
So what's Bullseye's deal?
I don't know. Because at the end of last season, he was trying to kill Fist's wife for setting him up.
I can't remember if he was trying to set up or
trying to kill Fist to punish his wife
for
setting him up.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then that doesn't happen. So now he's...
Maybe he is an uneasy ally this season. It would be...
Interesting.
They're kind of going on this they both want to take Fist down, but they probably have different methods that they're going to tackle.
Yeah.
This with.
So your friends, no, your enemies your friend scenario, I guess.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Ally, I guess. Yeah, potentially. But yeah, I was very surprised. They're pulling the mask off. I'm like, this is a bold choice to go. I'm like, what? Is Cherry going to pull out a gun and kill all these people? No fucking blades coming out of the fucking window.
No, they're all shot. So
they're shot.
They are all bang, 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 bang shot. And then he froze in the knife afterwards.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because it's so quick. Yeah. Very interesting. A few points that were obviously skipped over. This Karen is also on the run and is wanted. Going around. She's going to be wearing a little wigs this season, I would assume. Getting secret documents, that kind of stuff. Matt and Cherry, the reason they got in trouble is because they were trying to find the captain and the first mate who escaped the ship. One of who does get captured by the vigilante task force and gets killed by Fisk's second in command, Psychic.
After he tells that other guy off for enjoying his job too much and just comes in and shoots him.
He's like, yeah, that seems like, it's a bit petty. Yeah, but Matt makes a friend in the a Cyprian restaurant owner who is also a people smuggler from the sound of it. We're trying to help people.
Again, not to relate it too much to ice and everything.
No, yeah. Oh, that was the scene that probably hit the most for the ice. Like she's standing there and it's like,
no
I've got
English.
nothing to say to you, and she gets fucking backhanded in front of all these people just having the dinner. It was pretty hard to watch. But yeah, she is contacted by the first mate, I guess, at the end of the episode, who we suspect will contact Matt to let him know she has that person. We also have BB throughout this episode. A return of the BB report documentation throughout the city. This time heavily propagandist about how good the Fisk government is until it suddenly turns. There is someone wearing a Fisk mask delivering the actual truth about Fisk's
doing a very good impression. I'll say that.
Yeah, maybe it was Vincent D'Onofrio underneath them.
That would actually make sense. It was very good.
So Bibi has been making friends with old mate Daniel Blake, who has now risen to the role of deputy mayor, and is using him as her person on the inside by doing propaganda pieces for the BB report, but also delivering the real news under an alias, I guess. What do you think of that storyline?
Yeah, I like it because at first I was like, why has she gone down this road? Because she spent so much last season
trying to expose Fisk
Fisk, and we saw her get close to Daniel. I forgot the character's name. Daniel the whole season, but we knew for most of it she was using him. But then when it starts, and you're seeing, especially with the episode starts with the BB stuff.
It's like everybody's really happy.
Yeah, I was like,
well, super bright, and
this is very
pink.
confusing. So yeah, no, it made a lot more sense, and I like that relationship and setup of the shared bond between Karen and her because of her father, and they have that nice little moment where Karen says she feels guilt for his death. So I like that, and I hope we get more stuff between the two of them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more of BB, but also I'm very concerned that eventually the penny's going to drop for Daniel, and he's going to put her in danger or whatever, because that's how this has to go, right? They're going to get too close.
But also, that guy's a fucking idiot. So I don't know what is. Let's be honest. That guy is an idiot.
Idiot, but smart enough to get into a position of power.
I mean, it's apparently not hard these days. So the bar is pretty low.
Anything else you want to talk about from this episode?
No, well, I think we hit everything. Oh, there was a Jessica Jones, or presumed, because I'm just looking out for Jessica Jones, at the start where Karen's like, you should reach out, whatever, to contact someone. And they do the most sly, non-referential thing where Matt's like, yeah, I'll call her or something, but then they never touch on it again. And then there was something, so it was another mention where he says something, she asked about where he got something or other, can't remember exactly what it was. And he says, oh, someone at the hospital, whatever. So now I'm like, well, that's a night nurse reference, maybe.
Interesting. All right, let us know what you thought of this latest episode.
Oh, hold on. One more thing. Sorry.
All good.
So he's got it's worth noting, the DD costume finally on black. I like that. With the proper comic DD on the Daredevil costume on the black. I like that. It looks good. And then the other costume change in brackets, the ice people, they've still got the Punisher logo on it, which is sort of going to be annoying watching this whole season, knowing that apparently get no Frank Castle this season, but you're still going to have to deal with all these motherfuckers going around wearing his logo and treating him like the hero or their version of whatever they think he is, hero. Yeah, they were both. Those two were costume changed. Like their outfit was different from the first season, and Daredevil's costume was different from the first season.
So it's going to be interesting because this season will end on May 5th. The Punisher one shot will come out May 12th.
The week after.
Yeah. So is that just going to cover what the Punisher's doing during the season of Daredevil?
Presume so. Surely that would make sense.
Yeah. So
and then after that you get Spider-Man. So and he's in that.
Where's Spider-Man in all this? It's
always the question.
Is Wilson Fisk dealing with Spider-Man?
Yeah.
You know, is he having to deal with the Vigilante Task Force?
Yeah. Well, he would, is the thing.
Yeah. Or maybe he just goes, he's like, I can't deal with this shit. I'm so sad. I'm sad boy now. I can't deal with being hunted.
But the thing is, under the rules, or whatever that set them up as, it's...
Unless he's sanctioned because he is like a known superhero.
He shanked them?
Like sanctioned because he's technically an Avenger?
Yeah, I don't know. What are the rules on what superheroes, masked vigilantes are allowed and which ones are not allowed, you know?
Hope they answer that in the season of Born Again. So let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Daredevil Born Again by going to explosionnetwork.com/follow and find us on social media. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Podchasers. Leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars, or just tell people about the show. And if you want to help us out with all the things we're doing over at Explosion Network, head over to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to watch next week's episode of Daredevil Born Again and join us next time for another All New Marvelcast.